Alright, time to do the Arthur mission. This is the final mission before all that DLC that's coming up. This one has I think it's like 4 or 5 different things for you to do. But the first thing you want to do is wherever you start off, go to that rundown cabin. And you're going to pick up the items that are in there. You're going to pick up the crossbow. You can pick up the meat cleaver. But you also find an amulet and a Shemp's Cola.
Big cook's blade.
And so the next thing you're going to do after all this is you're going to go to the cabin that's right next door. And you're going to find a shovel in the basement. And the shovel is going to be your best friend for this mission. It's going to be the best melee weapon you're going to pick up until near the end. And also the second reason you want to go into this cabin is because when you go out the front door, you're going to find a vehicle that's going to be pretty useful.
What hellion lurks
So
in the darkness?
you can look around the cabin for a bit. I don't think you find anything along the lines of health items. But like I said, go into the basement and pick up that shovel. And then once you get into the basement, you should start hearing the deadite spawning outside. You'll hear the portals. So that's an indication that you need to get the hell out of there. Alright, so when you make your way out the front door, sometimes there's enemies already outside. You take them out, and you're gonna get into the vehicle and make your way to the next point, which is the fishing village. So at the fishing village, you're gonna get into a battle. You're gonna have a wave of enemies come at you, and I think you can avoid all that. You can go in and take the item and then go to the next point. But the reason you want to go through the battle and defeat all the enemies is because the last enemy that you beat is going to give you an upgrade to that crossbow. So at this point, all I'm trying to do is beat them. I'm using the finishers to give me that invincibility for a few seconds. Just take all the enemies out, and the last one will give you that weapon upgrade. I wouldn't say you have to take your time on this one, but you might want to, if you're in a hurry, you might want to just try and get through it. These are the last 2 enemies right here, and one of them is going to drop that weapon up. There it is. Alright, so once you clear the area of enemies, you don't have to go up the stairs like I did. That was kind of me wasting time. It's kind of pointless. But you're going to make your way back to your vehicle, or if not, there's another vehicle that's marked on your map that's right at the entrance of Fishing Village. And you're going to want to take the vehicle because it's going to come into play here in the next portion. You're going to the Nobi cabin now, and you need the vehicle in order to block the main entrance. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in a few seconds. So the way this works is once you activate the marker on this mission, you're going to have enemies coming at you from both the front door and the back door of the cabin. But if you place the car in the front door, they're all going to be forced to go out towards the back. And because of that, you basically successfully funnel them into one point that they can come in and just pick them off. Go into the cabin, collect all the items, whatever you need. However, do not pick up this axe that's laying on the floor next to Scotty. The reason being is the moment you pick it up, Scotty's going to get up and it triggers kind of like a mini boss battle. And Scotty will be pretty strong. Alright, so whenever you get all the items you need, you're gonna walk up to the table right here next to the door, pick up the Necronomicon, and that's gonna trigger the enemies. And like I said, this is the reason you place the car in the front door, because that way they're gonna be forced to walk around the back. And usually from this point you can pick them off, take headshots. One of them usually does the trick. Elites might take 2. If they manage to run up on you like that, there's not a problem. You can take him out melee style. One of these enemies will drop a Shemp Soda, and then the last enemy is going to give you another weapon upgrade. So that one dropped the Shemp's Cola, and then this one's going to give you the weapon upgrade. Pick that up, and then you're going to go out the back door. So you go out the back door, and you're going to go up the hill. You're going into Bronson's cave, I think, or something like that. Take out the enemies that are guarding it, and you're going to want to take them out here, because if you go into the cave, they're going to follow you in there. And the thing is that the next mission point is going to trigger Evil Ash. And Evil Ash is kind of a dick, so you want to take these guys out. And the minute you walk into the portal, it's going to trigger Evil Ash, as you can see right there. At the top right corner, it gives you about a minute to defeat Evil Ash. You're not going to be able to beat him, so don't even try. You're not going to be able to outbox Evil Ash. What you have to do, that the game doesn't tell you, is you got to survive. So for that whole minute, all I'm doing is running around, trying to avoid getting hit. He will summon an elite. Sometimes he'll summon 2. But as soon as that minute is up, it'll trigger the storyboard and the little story point, and you can move on to the next area. So if you notice on the mini map, it's got that red area covering half the map. That's that evil storm coming at you, so you can't really afford to waste your time. Head towards the sewage treatment plant, I think is what it is. There's gonna be a rundown car with a bunch of goodies and another weapon upgrade. And you gotta do this kind of fast, because that storm is coming in, closing in on you, and that's pretty much instant death at that point. Pick up the weapon upgrade, pick up the amulet, I think is what it is. Take the vehicle that's right there and go to your next story point. So at this next story point, it's important that you take out the skeletons that are playing the flutes. You take them out with your crossbow from a distance. If you get a little too close to them, they're gonna summon more of the regular basic units, and that's gonna cause trouble. So you're gonna want to take these skeletons out from a distance. Now there are gonna be a bunch of elites guarding the big house here, but as long as you can walk around them, you're gonna avoid them. You're gonna be all right. This guy out here in the woods is probably the one that it's kind of a pain in the ass to detect sometimes. But once you spot him, same deal, take him out from a distance. And then right here, I was trying to take the guy out from outside of the fence, but I got attacked by some of the regular basic units. Which is no problem, you take him out and move on. And the reason it's important to pick up these crossbow upgrades is because it's gonna take maybe 1 or 2 shots for you to take out even the elite units, and you can move on relatively quick as long as you take headshots. So once you go into the house, pick up the soda, make sure you got full health. And at this point, you should have, if everything goes right, you should have a couple of drinks in your inventory, maybe some amulets. But This next part is gonna be a bit tough. You're gonna pick up the sword, and you're gonna want to run to the next story point. And you're gonna want to try and keep going as fast as you can, because once you pick up the sword, portals are gonna start opening everywhere, and you're gonna be attacked by enemies like from all directions. So right here I kind of got caught, and I was trying to take out a few of them before moving on, but I'm not trying to waste too much time on them, because the longer you stay in one area, the more that, you know, they're gonna keep getting summoned. I'm trying to fight off the ones that are coming a little too close to me and then moving on. That's sort of the game plan right here. So like I said, at this point, you just want to keep moving. Try not to engage in battle for too long. If they get too close to you, take them out and keep moving. And this whole path is going to lead you back to the cave where you fought Evil Ash. So as soon as you reach that point, you can go into the portal. And if you made it this far in the mission, good job. But it's not over. So that's going to take you to the area in the, I guess it's the Kandarian Castle in Army of Darkness. And here you're gonna do basically 2 boss battles back to back. So the first boss battle right here is gonna be against a big ass Deadite. He's basically a tank, so same rules apply. If you play the game, you know, so far, you know that they attack with a certain pattern. Try to time your dodges, and you'll have openings. You know, you make sure that you're using your finishers. That way you do a little more damage. But this battle, essentially, it's, you know, pretty straightforward. And he's probably going to be a little more difficult to defeat than Evil Ash himself. So once you kind of get your rhythm going, you know, just go in and out. Hit him whenever you get a chance. And right when he dies is going to trigger the Evil Ash, you know, entrance. So collect the stuff that he drops right before the story point hits, because if you don't, you might not have a chance. But anyway, so Evil Ash, when he shows up, he's just kind of like boasting and laughing and walking around you for the most part. Every now and then he'll stop and attack. And to be honest with you, the best strategy at this point is to spam your heavy attack. Just spam the hell out of it, and he's not gonna flinch, but he'll take a ton of damage. And there it is, mission accomplished. At this point, you should have all the missions completed, and we'll see you on the next one when the DLC drops.